Your savings account is working. The number goes up every month. You did not take a single risk. And if you have been earning 4 or 5% in a high-yield savings account, you probably feel like you've figured something out that most people missed. I kept $50,000 in one for 18 months. Here is what the real math showed me when I stopped looking at the headline. When the Federal Reserve hiked rates through 2022 and 2023, high-yield savings accounts started offering something that had not existed in over a decade: 5% federally insured, no market exposure. If your money was sitting in a traditional bank earning 0.01%, that comparison felt staggering. The same $10,000 earned $1 a year there and $500 here. That comfort is real. I want to say that clearly before I tell you what it costs you. Here's the first number most people never calculate. $50,000 at 5% generates $2,500 in gross interest. But interest income from a savings account is taxed as ordinary income, the same rate as your salary, not the lower capital gains rate. At a combined federal and state effective tax rate of around 25% for a typical middle-income earner, you keep roughly $1,875, not $2,500. Then inflation takes another cut. During 2023, inflation ran between 3 and 4%, eroding your purchasing power at the same time your balance grew. Researchers put the real after-tax return for a middle-income saver in a high-yield account during that period at 1.5 to 1.8% annually. Still positive, but not the 5% story you were telling yourself. Here's the number that changed how I think about this permanently. In 2023, the S&P 500 returned over 26%. If your $50,000 had been in a low-cost index fund instead of a savings account that year, your balance would have reached approximately $63,000, not $52,500. A $10,500 difference in a single year between two decisions that both felt responsible. Over 30 years, that gap becomes something harder to sit with. $20,000 in a high-yield savings account at 4% grows to roughly $65,000. The same $20,000 in a diversified index fund at the historical 10% average grows to approximately $348,000, a gap of $283,000. Same money, same 30 years, built entirely on where your money weighted. But stop before you move everything into index funds. The savings account was never the wrong tool. I had it in the wrong role. 3 to 6 months of your actual living expenses in a high-yield account is not optional. That money cannot afford to drop 30% the week you need it. The mistake is scope creep, money with a 10-year horizon sitting in an account built for 60 days. Here's what 18 months actually taught me. Your advertised rate is not your return. Calculate the after-tax number before deciding how large a balance to maintain. Your emergency fund has a real size, 3 to 6 months of expenses. Once that's covered, extra cash above it has a time horizon that probably belongs somewhere else. The rate is not permanent. 5% was a Fed policy window, and security is not the same thing as progress. A large number in a savings account produces comfort. Comfort is worth something. It is not worth $283,000.